Do you like? I've got a bit of foliage.
Leafage is new.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm so bad at looking after plants.
So that's not a real one, eh?
That is a fake one.
Do you think that you would be, if you were a Pokemon, would you be a grass type?
Definitely not.
No?
I would wilt. I would wither.
What type of Pokemon would you be? Ghost. You're pretty bad.
Nah, probably like... No. If we're talking like main, starter Pokemon, probably like water.
Water type?
Yeah, because
nice.
I'm a bit of a water baby.
Water baby.
Yeah, I love a good water park.
Oh, yeah, that's cool, actually.
Oh,
cool.
Talking of water parks.
Yeah.
Mate, I don't know if we can put this in, but called up... basically, I was like, right, I've been traveling a lot for work and I want to go somewhere that I'm not doing for work.
Right.
So I was like looking around, seeing what I could book up. Anyway, I was like, I'm going to go Tenerife.
Nice.
So I was like, looking at Airbnbs and hotels, and I was like, they're all quite expensive if you go on your own. So I was like, who can I invite? Mate, I just messaged Danny and was like, do you want to go Tenerife? These are the dates. And he was like, yeah.
Mate, that's sick.
So we're going in like 2 weeks.
Mate, that's baller. I fucking love that.
Yeah, anyway. Yeah, and that's what got me onto it, is that water parks. There's a water park there. And
What,
I was
Tenerife?
like, I want to go.
Yo, we talked about Tenerife before. Is it Tenerife?
Tenerife, I call it.
Tenerife.
Like,
I genuinely don't know. I don't know what.
When you went, because you went Gran Canaria, right?
Yeah.
And what was that like for you, man? Was that hot?
Well, yeah, it was pretty cloudy because we went in Jan, and I'd never been to Gran Canaria before.
What kind of temps? We're talking like...
No, we're talking like... it did get pretty hot, like 27, 28.
Oh.
And then, so it was...
Whoa!
No, it was nice. It was nice.
Yeah?
But it's cloudy.
Yeah.
But if I'm honest, so obviously, if you don't know, half the family is Spanish.
Yep.
But we're like mainland Spain. So I'd never really done any of the islands.
Seville.
Yeah, that's it. So we'd never really done much of the islands. Chloe and I went to Fuerteventura. That was really nice. That was really cool. Cool island, cool people. Fucking never rains. Real dry. They're all rock type Pokemon over there. And then we went to... Where's some of the other ones? I don't remember. Lanzarote.
Oh, Lanzarote.
We went to Lanzarote for my birthday. And I was like, oh, actually, this is nice. And we went like all inclusive and stuff. I'm going to be honest... And I mean, no disrespect to you Canarians.
That means what he's about to say is disrespectful.
No. I probably wouldn't go again.
Okay. Yeah.
Whereas like, I found Fuerteventura like quite a fun island, and we were able to do a bit of traveling and stuff. I didn't get to travel around Gran Canaria as much, so maybe there's more for me to see because I think it's pretty big. But I probably wouldn't go back very, very quickly.
The thing is, those islands are small. Like Tenerife, you can drive around it in an hour. You can do a lap.
Fuerteventura, we did half of it in a fucking buggy thing. That I went
there when I was like 10. So I was like, do I really want to go back there? I've already been there. I could go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But the price was right. I was thinking about going actually mainland Spain, going somewhere like Barcelona, somewhere. And I was like, it's not warm enough. I want to go somewhere a bit more south, a bit warmer. Well, so that kind of worked for me, man.
Yeah, mate, that's awesome. Good for you, mate. That's sick.
So,
how long are you going for?
6 days.
Mate, that's awesome.
So across like from a Thursday to a Tuesday. So
nice.
I'm excited, man, just to get a bit of sun. Just switch off for a bit.
Yeah, mate. It's so important.
Yeah, man.
I know Chloe, being self-employed, she likes to know that there's a holiday coming.
Yeah, something to like look forward to.
Yeah, because otherwise she will literally work 7 days a week. So for her, it's nice to know that there's like a break coming up. She like schedules it in the calendar and she's like, this is what I'm working towards. And it's a nice thing.
Talking of your wife.
Yeah.
She's going to have a baby soon, bro.
The baby is
How do you feel about that, becoming a dad?
Yeah, it's weird how it's like, it's literally everything you think about.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
You're getting more like... Are you excited?
Oh, mate, I'm so excited. I am... I'm nervous for what is like the obvious complete change of my lifestyle. And everything that I've taken in from young parents, or what I mean by that is like new parents, is that your whole perception of everything changes. Like everything that was important to you before the baby's born, it's just not important.
Switcheroo.
So it's I'm anxious for that part of my life. You know what I'm like. I like to collect knives. I want to.
You can't go with that.
Like, I can't. I'm like, oh fuck, I can't like. Yeah, like I don't have disposable income now.
Yeah.
It's his. Like, it's mad.
Yeah.
But Chloe is doing well. She's all good. We don't really have all that long to go. By the way, right? Quick quiz. How, by percentage, by percentage, how many children do you think are born on their due date? We took a seminar. We took a seminar, right?
Yeah.
When they started with this. How many children do you think you're given your due date of whatever it is?
They're born on that day.
How many children do you think by percentage you're born?
50%.
Do you want to try again?
Wait, 10%. Wait,
8%. I was told now. 8% of babies actually get born on their now
that says more about the person telling you your due date. I think, like, what they do, how do they work that out? They just guess. They go.
I guess that's
the baby. April.
They're looking at you, like weighing you and stuff.
April.
Like, I don't know. That's the thing. It's strange. I guess, as you said, it proved to me that like there's not an incredible amount of science happening there. Then, like, that's a bit, or I guess ultimately gestation period, like, it does matter, but like babies are born at like 20 something weeks now and like are surviving, thriving. Like, obviously advanced medicine is helping with all of that. But yeah, I mean, I literally had not thought about this at all. Like, probably by next week, I have to be ready for him to come any day.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Like, it could literally be, and that is pretty stressful. That's pretty worrying.
Mate, you know what you were saying the other week about putting your phone on not silent? Like, yeah, you're going to have to do that.
Oh, shit, yeah. Better just have it in front of my eye like that the entire time.
You
just
need the Apple Vision Pro now.
Oh, mate, I know. I'm one of those VR fucking things. That's so funny.
You need the VR goggles. What are you doing? Why are you wearing those? My wife is pregnant.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Right, well, let's segue into what I want to talk about. So, talking about babies.
Right.
What show did you watch when you were a wee babby?
TV shows, cartoons.
TV shows.
Do you want to introduce the podcast, mate? You haven't said your thing yet.
No.
All right, sod it then.
They've clicked on the video. They've clicked on the thing. They know.
True.
Oh, this is the Sour Cherries podcast. My name is Manuel Martinez. His name is Manuel John Mark Daniels. We've been here like... This is our episode 10, by the way, actually.
Oh!
That's episode 10.
Dude, that's sick.
And we're not Spotify exclusive anymore.
No, we're doing YouTube too.
If you did not know this, now all you Spotify boys and girls and everyone in between, listen, we think it's important that you learn to share your toys, okay? So, not just Spotify exclusive now. You can find us on YouTube. You can find all the shorts on YouTube anyway, but full episodes are on YouTube. And, if I'm not mistaken, the episode 9 is now recently available on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Mate, so go watch it on YouTube.
Do we upload all the other episodes to YouTube, or do we just go, right, from episode 9, we're now on YouTube?
No, that would make
it would
feel
be a bit weird because then the upload date and it would look a bit funny. Nah, episode 9 onwards.
All right, fine.
Let's do it.
I don't care.
Cartoons.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
What did you watch?
What's the first like kids show you remember?
Well, I remember. I don't know, but what I will say is, I feel like we were watching really old school kids programs when I was really young. So what I mean is, my mum loved Bagpuss. Have you seen Bagpuss?
That is
what?
That is old.
That is old, bro. That is old. But I'm very certain on Channel 4, like well early in the morning, it'd be on, and we're watching it as kids. Like, this is old as balls. Like, what? Like, what the fuck is
Mate,
this?
we are old as balls.
But now we're old as balls. The Clangers.
Bill and Ben, the Flower Pot Men.
The old school Bill and Ben,
is
by
what
the
I
way.
remember. Yeah.
The old school
They
Bill
were like
and Ben.
puppets, weren't they?
Yeah, dude, that was fucked up. They're so scary.
They didn't even talk.
It was weird.
It was the shows where you had...
I'm sure I'm not getting it wrong. Mate, it's
What
so
is that?
weird.
Imagine you did that nowadays. People put it on and go, my kids can't watch that because it's not educational enough. But yet they're making them watch these dancing bits of fruit.
Yeah, it's so strange.
What is that?
The really old school ones are a bit creepy to think about now. And like, did you ever watch like the Magic Roundabout?
Yeah.
It's just, these people must have been on drugs.
Yeah, but have you watched some of the more modern stuff? Like, now they've been given technology, like Adventure Time.
Adventure
They
Time's
were
pretty,
definitely on drugs.
Adventure Time's pretty weird. Yeah.
So
And you know the I don't know actually if this is just considered like a fact now or whatever, but like the guy that invented SpongeBob SquarePants like invented it on a trip whilst he was tripping
really
LSD. I don't know if that's that might not be accurate.
that used to be like when I would say
that might be a rumor
before. I don't know when SpongeBob came out. That's the thing, but I feel like I watched a lot of it when I was sick off school.
Right.
That was like SpongeBob time.
Well, I feel like I'm jumping ahead, but you probably think about SpongeBob as like pretty modern, but no, I don't think so. That's 1990 something.
Surely it's got to be. Surely 9.
But I tell you the program that I genuinely really loved as a kid, and I probably enjoyed up to like an older age than I should have. The Rugrats.
Mate, that was such a good show.
We loved the Rugrats.
And then the Rugrats movie.
Then they got a movie!
And then they had a Rugrats game.
Mate.
The Search for Reptar. Was it Reptar? Yeah.
I loved Rugrats. We loved Rugrats.
Who was your favourite character in Rugrats?
Tommy, obviously.
Like Tommy Pickle.
The charisma on that young man.
What was his sister's? Was
Angelica.
Angelica. She was a dickhead. Like, literally, you'd be watching it and be like, why is she even here? She's a dickhead. But you grow up and you're like, oh, you get it, because there'd be no show without her.
Yeah.
But,
it is funny.
Do you remember the Wild Thornberries?
Yeah,
I know we're going to jump all over the place here. I don't really want to go in like chronological order. But,
no, I know.
But that kind of reminded me, because there was all of these weird charismatic characters that all were in like one family. And the Wild Thornberries for me was it, where it's like, you had the dad who was like smashing, and I just remember he had a massive nose. That got a film as well.
Did it get a film?
I think the Wild Thornberries.
Wow, it probably did. I mean, I can't say I watched it, but yeah, the what you said earlier about his nose—that's what I remember of that program. Is the actual like drawing of the characters? The actual characters were so like, what is this,
mate? They will be forever ingrained in my memory. You had Tommy, like in Rugrats, Tommy Pickle. Just had that one hair.
Yeah, like he had like
wispy hair.
So funny.
Angelica had like, was she? Oh, who was Chucky?
Chucky,
the ginger guy
kid with the glasses. Yeah.
Who else was there? Oh, the twins.
The twins, Phil and Lil.
How do you know this?
I think I'm getting there. Right, Phil and Lil.
Yeah. How do you know that?
What do you mean?
Why do you remember that?
Oh, I watched it yesterday.
No, I'm still watching it.
And then, but I can't remember Tommy's little brother when he came in.
Wait, Tommy's had a little brother.
Well, wasn't that the film? Because he
had a baby.
Yeah, I feel like then there was like that caused friction in the group.
Oh,
I can't remember.
Hey, that's crazy.
I can't remember.
I don't remember any of the episodes.
Not particularly. It was all about them just trying to escape their wee pen and then get back.
But do you think that all of those shows had underlying like morals, or trying to teach you something?
A lot of them did, didn't they? A lot of them had to, really, probably for like a writer, they probably had to have some sort of lesson. I can't think of anything specific or a particular like something that happened, but I feel like another program that did that really well, and I might just be misremembering it. And I'm all over the place here. Did you ever watch Tracy Beaker?
Oh my God, she was a dickhead as well.
Right. But Tracy Beaker, it was such a unique situation because of like the orphanage and stuff like that. And her as a character, she was so like obtuse and like she was an agitator and stuff like that. But it felt like the storyline was always about her like being a bit bratty, but eventually doing the right thing. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we watched that a lot as well.
Yeah, Tracy Beaker was a good one. And that kind of reminds me of like the realm of kids, like not necessarily cartoons, but the TV shows that would be on when you'd come home from school.
Yeah.
Right? And so we had, do you remember a show called 50-50?
Yeah.
It was like two...
Yeah, blue and yellow tins.
And it was two schools. And they used to go head to head, and then you get gunked at the end.
Those kids screaming every time, like their like school name, like Blue Team, this school, they would scream. Did my nutting. But they were fun games, though.
They were good.
Yeah.
The Queen's Nose.
The Queen's Nose was really good.
So, for those of you who don't know what this show is about...
Yeah, holy shit, some people
we're not
might
explaining.
Be like,
we're just going, remember this, remember that.
You can probably go on YouTube and find full episodes.
Yeah, definitely.
Just do it.
But the Queen's Nose, the premise of this was... there was a kid and he had this magic 50 pence piece, so a 50p coin, and it had...
What was his name?
I don't know, Ben?
I think it was Ben.
Had the Queen on it, and what he would do is, if he was ever in a sticky situation, couldn't he like rub the nose and it would pause time?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Would it pause time, or would it like rewind time? I don't really remember.
Was there another one where he could pause time?
Mate, do you want to guess the year? Do
you want to guess Queen's nose?
Yeah, it had 5 seasons. Do you want to guess the year?
5 seasons.
It had 5 seasons,
nose.
bro.
That is insane. 2001.
Right. No, sorry. Yes,
okay.
we'll
Queen's
continue.
nose.
Yeah, no, it was before that, bro. 2001. 1990s.
1994.
Oh, very close.
Oh,
95.
95.
And can I just say, it was a girl. A girl is given
what?
a magical coin that makes all her dreams come true.
What?
Are we? Dude,
No.
hold on.
Right, that's the US version, surely.
No, the Queen's Nose TV series. I'm literally looking it up. So weird because
Wait,
this is.
what?
Hold
That
on.
wasn't a
What's
girl.
the premise? Harmony Parker. Harmony, a 12-year-old
Show me a
girl
picture of her.
who loves animals, receives a magical 50 pence coin. I can read from
You can't, guys,
from
you
her
can't.
Uncle Ginger that can grant wishes when Queen
that's it,
Elizabeth
wishes.
II's nose is right. That is mad. That is absolutely nuts.
Wait, there was another one. There
This
was
is
another
the
one where he
thing.
could pause time.
Yeah,
There was a boy.
He had a Ben's watch.
Oh, that was it. It was Ben.
Ben's
What was the
watch.
watch?
Ben's
was it
watch.
just called Ben's watch? You're joking me. I've got the Queen's nose and Ben's watch mixed up.
Hold on. Ben's
No, I'm having a
watch
stinker here.
Show. What are we talking about?
What is that? Ben's Watch
Mate,
Kids TV show.
I cannot think about this at
Guys,
all.
I know you guys watching this are going to be like,
All that's
knowing
coming
the
up
name.
is fucking Ben 10.
It's not Ben 10.
Oh
it was
my
a show
God.
where he had
Watch, show, stop
time.
1990s.
Yeah, what was that?
Come on.
Sure.
Bernard's watch.
Oh my God, Bernard's watch. Yes.
I'm sweating.
And it was a pocket watch.
Yeah, mate,
It
I'm
was.
stressed.
I was thinking it was like a watch on his wrist.
Mate, look at this kid.
It looks-
Adorable.
Oh my
It was
God.
Bernard's
He looks
watch.
like the Kazoo kid.
That is so funny. Mate, do you want to guess the year of that?
Nah,
Holy
96.
shit. 97.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This
See,
is
that,
mad.
I knew that was old, but you did show me a picky, and the picky did look old.
Yeah,
What?
97 to
Oh, yeah.
2001. That's mad.
Yeah, how many seasons did that get?
I don't know. I'm not looking at it anymore.
Mate.
But absolutely mad. Absolutely crazy. We watched a lot of that. Demon Headmaster.
Oh my God, Demon Headmaster.
Why did they
was
do
weird.
that to us? We've just finished school,
Yeah,
and then we
and
come
then-
back and we watch a program about this
Being at school.
proper scary
weird
headmaster,
school.
like bold.
I think it was meant to instill fear. Like, you go into school the next day and be like, what if my headmaster is the demon
They're horrible,
headmaster?
aren't they? They're
Yeah.
horrible. Them
Did you like your headmaster at school?
I don't remember him.
Do you not?
Nah. Why, you remember yours?
I remember being not primary school, but I remember secondary, like high school, and I remember I was on like the weird committee that we had no sway, but it was be like, oh, you get to meet the headmaster and decide whether or not you like him. That's how it felt to me anyway.
okay.
But there was like 10 of us, and we all basically, he came in, and he ended up being the new headmaster, but we got to like ask him questions. We got to like write out questions before that we wanted to ask him.
That's interesting.
But yeah, I remember that show, Demon Headmaster.
Yeah.
When I remember going into this new thing thinking, oh, what if he's like really strict? We
Yeah.
don't want a really strict like knobhead headmaster.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking. But I couldn't ask him that. I couldn't be like, are you demonic? Are
Yeah.
you the guy from Demon Headmaster?
I've just finished watching the Demon
Yeah.
Headmaster.
Because I will rub the Queen's nose
Nose.
and get you out.
And my mate Bernard's got this watch, yeah. Let me do this. Because I want to do TV shows 1990s. Because
You're
all
just
of
going to
us,
look them up.
mate,
Okay,
all of a sudden,
I've got one that I can actually have a little bit of a rant about because it was probably one of
Go
my
on.
favourite kids' TV shows. And if I don't mention this and my mum and my sister watch this, they will never forgive me.
Go on.
Pingu.
Pingu. Oh, mate. Pingu was phenomenal.
But he's still a meme to this day.
Yeah.
Like, people know Pingu. Oh, yeah, he's the nude guy.
I mean, is Pingu still going?
I don't know.
Are they still
If
doing episodes
if
of
it
Pingu?
is, it's not the same.
No,
Like,
it
it used to
can't
be
be.
the
No, it can't
Play-Doh
be. Yeah.
clay thing. And there's one episode I remember very vividly where, because Pingu had a little baby sister, and that for me, I was always Pingu, and I had a younger sister.
Oh, that's sweet.
So for me, I was like, oh, that's me and Tiffany, right?
Yeah.
So and I remember this one episode very vividly where they were out, and it was meant to be like they would. It looked like alcohol, but it obviously wasn't. But they were just buying these drinks, paying for them with fish,
right?
And they would exchange it, and they would go. Drink the thing and go, oh, and their eyes would spin. And he was out with his seal mate.
Yeah.
And then his sister needed a wee or something.
Right.
So he was like, no, you can go on your own. And then basically, Pingu's parents didn't like that he sent the sister back
on her own.
Right. And then he goes, oh, and now he needs a wee. And he's like bussing home. And he basically knocks his sister off the toilet so that he can use it. And then his dad's having a go. I don't know why I remember that so vividly.
Do you remember this?
But that episode for me was like, what is that about? Like, are they drunk? Are they like, is that why they need they're just, what is happening?
Dude, that's so funny.
They didn't talk English, but I felt like I can understand them.
It is strange when you think about it. These are like grown people that are writing these scripts. And it's just mad, isn't it? It's just weird.
Yeah.
Pingu was very good. We always had Pingu on. Because I'm trying to think of the actual shows. Like we had... So you had CBBC.
Yep.
And that I'm pretty sure had the sort of like that had the Tracy Beaker kind of shows and stuff
because
like that.
Because is CBBC its own? Was it at any point its own channel?
I don't know. Obviously, it's part of the BBC.
Yeah, because I remember it being on BBC. Like it was a segment.
Yeah.
It was like CBBC finishes at this time. Then it's like adult shows. Like because you can no longer watch the telly.
I feel like CBeebies came after CBBC. I don't feel like I grew up on CBeebies.
No, I don't feel like
But I might be getting the timeline wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't think I grew up on CBeebies.
No. I remember like because TV didn't used to go all day, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like I remember people coming round to do Channel 5 on my TV.
Wow.
So like
that's mad.
Yeah, I'm old.
That's pretty old.
Because you never like Channel 5 was there, and then something was like, right, you need to tune your TV so that you can receive Channel 5.
Yeah.
Because before it was only 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
And I remember when you get up in the morning, and it used to creep me out, but I used to watch it anyway because you knew cartoons were about to come on, and it was that creepy girl holding the clapperboard.
Yeah.
Right, and she had like a puppet or something, and it used to go.
Yeah, it was a really horrible
tone.
Yeah.
And it used to scare me.
Yeah,
so I used to have to, if it came on, if the TV came on and made that noise, it would scare me. I'd have to leave the room, put it on mute, and then like reset myself and then come back in.
So backtracking a wee bit then. So when you were young, because as I say, that's the thing. I feel like the whole thing about kids TV when I was young was the fact that I woke up early all the time. So I was waiting for like TV actual channel programming to start and stuff like that. So that's why I remember the likes of Bagpuss, because I feel like it was probably on at like a 5 o'clock, 5:30, maybe 6 o'clock sort of time. But the other one was the Hoobs.
Oh my God.
Mate, the Hoobs.
Well, the Hoobs the thing with the weird snorkels or something. Wait, no.
Look, I need to show
no, that's
you.
the Snorks.
The Snorks, I don't know what that is. That's the Hoobs. You remember them?
Yeah, what was
they had like a big, they would get in a car and they called the Tiddly Peeps. We were the Tiddly Peeps. That's them.
We're off to see the Tiddly Peeps. On the road we go. Mate, I used to love that show. I thought that was the Tweenies.
The Tweenies? No, we're gonna get confused here. No, the Tweenies was like,
was that a bit after?
Oh, hold on. Bella, Milo. Who's that?
You remember them all.
Oh, I'm
That's the Tweenies, right?
What was the dog's name? I think that was the Tweenies.
Clifford.
We are all over the show.
Yeah, but I love that. There's so many good TV shows. And I'm sure that like people that are outside of this generation are watching this going, what were they watching?
Yeah, are you talking about?
Yeah.
By the way, I stopped myself there because last episode, if you haven't watched it, you can go back and watch it. I did say that I would try really, really hard to not swear this episode.
He did say that.
Have you sworn this episode yet?
I don't think
so. Have I sworn this episode
I don't know.
I'm going to try really, really hard.
Should I put a counter up? No, I'm not doing that.
Nah, don't do that. It's a bit much, isn't it?
It's long.
Anyway, so yeah, you're right though. Tweenies,
Hoobs.
There's got to be so many that we're forgetting.
Yeah, there was this show, Smurfs. You had Smurfs.
Was up.
I remember having this CD where it was a music CD or tape even. I don't know how old I was or young I was.
I'm so clever. Sorry. Yep.
Jake.
Jake who?
I don't know. I feel like that was a hoob.
That was a
tweenie.
who? No. I'm off them.
Okay. Anyway, what's his name?
I don't know. Sorry, mate. I'm sorry. What I was thinking was there was another. I think this is an old program.
Yeah.
That we ended up watching. Like we were off the back end of it. So first of all, the raccoons. You don't remember the raccoons?
No, I don't remember the raccoons.
Do you remember the sound, the theme tune? Run with us. You got everything.
No, what the hell?
Need.
What was that?
Run with us. No?
Come on, show me the picky.
And the other one though, do you remember the Moomins?
Oh, I remember the Moomins, but I feel like that was like our parents' time.
Exactly.
And they just sort of made you watch it.
That freaked the bejesus out of me. That was creepy. They had some characters on Moomins that, well, they're not for now.
But that's the thing. You had all these shows, and going back to Bill and Ben, like, why couldn't they talk? You had a guy narrating over the top, like...
Question. Do you really not remember the raccoons?
No, I can't say I do.
You're older than me! This is nuts.
When did that come out, though?
Good question. Let me find out. So it's a series that ran on CBC from November 11th, 1985.
Oh my God, 1985. No, I'm
to
not
1991.
About that. I'm not about that, bro.
I feel like that was one of them that was
But how were you watching that? Was it like reruns?
No, that's what I'm saying. I feel
like you had it on tape?
No, I feel like it must have been like early morning shows that they just played
like
really
replays,
early. Because what I'm trying to get at is, I feel like there was before school TV and then after school TV.
Yeah.
Because you know what I want to talk about? After school TV. When Pokemon hit.
Yeah.
Oh my Christ.
It was like Pokemon, but then it was, and then in between you had like, oh no, that was on a Saturday maybe, like Dick and Dom or...
So, yeah. So,
you know?
Do you remember CD UK? That was Anne and Deck with... Is it Kat?
Oh, yeah, that was it. Anne and Deck. Kat, yeah.
Kat Deely?
Yeah,
I don't want to get her name wrong,
yeah.
sorry. But it was something like that. Like, so that was a show that happened from whatever, 9 till like 11:30 or whatever, on a Saturday or a Sunday or whatever. Yeah. But that had Rugrats. They'd play Pokemon. They would play... If I'm not getting it wrong, I hope I'm not. But that's how I remember TV back then. But yeah, I remember it
just being absolute carnage. Like you'd get up and it would start from like 7.
Yeah,
it would start from 7. You'd have maybe like a few younger shows on, like ones that would appeal to like toddlers, and then you had sort of like 6 to 10 or 12, and then you had like a little bit more older shows. Because I remember stuff like Street Sharks. There was a Street Sharks. I had all the action figures. And then they had like the Batman cartoons and stuff like that. So,
oh, mate, that's a really good one. The Spider-Man cartoon.
So they had like all of those shows as well. But I feel like they're now still going. Like, everyone knows Batman, but what are the shows that now were canned? And yeah, things like Tracy Beaker, Queen's Nose. I mean, I'm trying to think. Bananas in Pajamas.
Oh my Christ.
Bananas in
Barney?
Pajamas. Barney, yeah.
Is Barney still going? The thing is that what we had as like live action stuff, like people in suits pretending to be bananas in pajamas or whatever, it ended up then being animated series as well.
Yeah.
Or were the animated series first? Because I don't know if you were ever... Do you remember... the Beano and like Dennis the Menace.
Oh, comics, weren't they? And then they become...
But then they become animated like TV shows.
Then you had things like Even Stevens.
Oh my God, Even Stevens.
Yeah, because I remember... Oh my God. Okay, I've just unlocked one. Right, guys, if you've never seen this before, what I'm about to say, you have to go and find it on YouTube or somewhere, because this show used to freak me out, but I just could not stop watching it. And it was called, and it's just come back to me, and I'm so glad because I thought I'd forgotten it then. It was called Zap. And it was like 2 or 3 Z's. Yeah, he's just...
Was it a superhero thing?
Right, so kind of. It was basically, the way it would start, it was like loads of different... Yeah, it was loads of different sketches. And it used to start with a TV, like a camera panned out on like a comic book. And it used to zoom in, and the noise used to freak me out. It used to go...
You're completely right.
And then it used to stop on like a comic book pane.
Yeah.
And it was like, they used to have the comic book pane of like, I remember one of them was this weird, crazy girl on it.
Yeah.
And then she would burst through the pane of like the comic book, and she'd be like, woo! And then it would go to the skit.
Daisy Dares You.
That's it.
She
Daisy
was wearing
Dares
black
You.
and yellow.
The arts and crafts, the little like
blue and
like,
yellow.
Yeah, what do they call those gloves you put on?
I don't know.
The when you're doing the washing up.
Yeah, like marigold.
That's it, the
style.
marigold hands. They used to do that, and then used to do weird stuff. And I remember thinking, that's crazy.
Zap TV.
That is crazy.
That is crazy. But then I remember like Art Attack.
Oh, Neil Buchanan.
Rest in peace, mate. What a legend.
He was a legend.
What a legend.
Yeah.
That So I was pretty like artsy at school, and I loved Art Attack.
Yeah.
I loved Art Attack.
The thing is, I think we did okay because you look at older generations, and they had like a lot of weird shows that didn't really make much sense.
Yeah, it's strange.
Yeah, or maybe it did to them. But like, Moomins.
I mean, I can't remember any specific episode, but I remember some of the characters being like, how can this be appealing to children?
There's a big one that we have not spoke about, and I remember so many rumours about this show.
What?
Right, okay. You're going to get it.
Get settled in, everyone.
You're going to get it within about 3 seconds.
Okay.
Right? There was the intro with a sun.
Yeah, the Teletubbies.
Yeah,
okay.
I knew you'd get it. I knew you'd get it. Right. Tell me why all of these rumours went round. The Teletubbies were actually the Spice Girls dressed up.
I can't answer that question.
Did you have that rumour or no?
I don't remember it, if I'm being
I
completely
remember
honest.
like someone said to me, "Oh yeah, did you know that's the Spice Girls dressed up in there?" I believed them.
What? Why did you believe them?
Was there even 4 Teletubbies?
I don't
think
believe
there was
so.
5
there's
5
4.
Spice Girls.
Yeah. There's
And
definitely
4
4
Teletubbies.
Teletubbies. But even Teletubbies, like, what was that?
Well, it was like this weird concept where, because they're actually like 7 foot tall, these puppet things.
This is mad. It's really, when you start to, the thing is, you're probably not meant to dissect these TV shows.
No, you're meant to just watch it.
It's meant to just be
juice.
It's literally it's bright colours thing. But they had TVs on their tummies.
Yeah.
And are they related or no? I don't understand.
Yeah.
But like Poe was like the little baby one.
Yeah, and I always remember trying to work out a question that came to me was always like, are they boy? Are they girl? Are some of them boys? Are some of them girls? Not that it really mattered.
No,
but at that time, that's the kind of thing that I was thinking. Like, I don't know, what are these things?
Well, and it did feel like they'd been divided with Poe and.
So you had Tinky Winky,
Dipsy,
Lala, Poe.
So Lala and Poe felt more feminine.
Oh yeah, and Tinky Winky and Dipsy. But then, what was the purple one? Was that Tinky Winky?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Was it?
Also, can I just say, now that we're actually saying those names back, tell me why Tinky Winky is a character in a kid. Tinky Winky. No, that's pissed me off.
You can't do that.
That's actually pissed me off.
It's just strange. And then they had Noot Noot. You remember Noot Noot?
Yeah. No, Nunu.
Nunu, yeah. Sorry, Nunu, the Hoover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that thing sucked them off? Can I say that in this?
I don't know that you can. This is a kids' TV program. What's wrong with you?
We're not kids anymore.
I guess so. Yeah, but I'm not watching it anymore either.
That's
but
crazy.
I would love to know if they're still going, but they've changed something up, or like there's another one.
I saw one where it's like the set of
Poe's got a nephew that comes to the fucking hill or something.
They've now got Stinky Winky.
Stinky Winky.
Oh. But yeah, I remember seeing the set of, maybe this was just like something I saw and thought it was real, but I feel like it was. The set of the Teletubbies was like abandoned, and that like people had gone to visit it as like an abandoned thing.
Wow.
So yeah, but
cool.
I remember it being like rolling hills, and the sun used to come up. Do you remember when it was like time for Teletubbies, and then the little stick used to come out of the ground like a periscope thing. And he used to go meh, meh.
Yeah.
Where are the Teletubbies? And they used to pan around, and it'd be like, oh, there's Dipsy, and then one of them, they would all stand in a row. This has annoyed me. This has.
You're not meant to dissect the TV program.
We've gone back to pet peeves. Things that annoy me. I am dissecting it because they would all stand in a row going, oh, and it used to read out their names, and then it was like a guessing game. Whose stomach is going to come alive?
Yeah.
And then it would zoom in on one. It went,
and you try and guess.
Yeah, you try and guess. And then suddenly you were in a skit about kids learning about something at school.
Yeah.
So it did have like a segment where you would learn something.
Was
it a trick though to like get you to be like, oh, bright colours, characters, then suddenly you're watching something about school?
Well, also something about like probably there's more hidden messaging there about TV. Like the kids love watching the Teletubbies on TV, and they've got TVs on them. Like we need to watch TV. You know what I mean?
remember a lot of rules coming out about like what can be advertised to kids because there was I don't know when the laws came out, but I remember at some point there were no real laws, so you could advertise, put subliminal messaging into adverts and like advertise toys.
Yeah.
And then they put a limit on how much of a show could be advertising certain products.
Yeah.
Because I remember Street Sharks had toys, but they were only allowed to advertise the toys at certain points of the show.
Right. Okay.
So
interesting.
It's like,
I found it interesting thinking about some of these older TV programs, and then the fact that because you've got, as you mentioned earlier, you've got a younger sibling. Do you remember at any point, like you'd maybe grown up a wee bit, but your sibling still wanted to watch something that you found to be,
and you were like, no, I'm not watching that. My niece and nephew do that now.
Do they do it now?
You were around at the weekend.
Yeah.
Right, we're putting Peppa Pig on. Okay. So they'll happily watch a little bit of Peppa Pig.
Yep.
But and I think the age difference between them is like maybe 3 or 4 years. I can't remember. But it was the same with me and my sister, right?
Yeah.
We're 4 years apart. And at the moment, Lorenzo, his name is, my nephew, he wants to watch and he loves Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah. Old school.
As soon as that goes on, Matilda, my niece, is like,
I'm out.
I don't want anything to do with this. And
I'll
she's trying to grab the controller. She wants to grab the controller. No, I don't want that on, and all sorts. So it is interesting. But did you have that? Because you had like a... What's the age gap between all your brothers?
My baby brother, so I'm one of 4.
Yep.
My baby brother is only 5 years younger than me. So we did grow up at like a similar rate. But I do remember there being like... So when I got home from school and we've all done homework and stuff like that, I wanted to watch the shows that were like Hey Arnold.
Yeah.
Do you remember Hey Arnold? Do you remember Recess?
Move It Football. Recess was so good.
Recess was...
I used to really like Spinelli.
Yeah.
Spinelli. She was like the alternative one.
Yeah. But it's just cool. It's just cool shows. But I started to get into like, I don't know what you'd call that. Like, but it was a bit more... advanced preteen.
Yeah, preteen or teenager show.
Whereas obviously my baby brother was still probably wanting to go and watch something like 50-50 or... Do you remember How?
And that's How for now.
So it's just people at a room. That was, in fairness, really interesting a lot of the time. Probably.
Or How, and then a little later on you got like Brainiac.
Yeah, Brainiac. You remember that? Yeah, Brainiac.
Have you ever watched back Brainiac like now? Like, have you seen an episode?
No.
So who was it? Some geezer.
Yeah.
And they had a segment on Brainiac, and this is why I'm not too sure if it was meant for like kids or maybe blur the line between kids and adults.
Right.
Is they had a segment called "Will It Sink or Will It Float?" And whatever the girl came out in a bikini to put stuff in a swimming pool, whatever she was holding, she was like, it was in front of her breasts. And I just remember it being like, she come out with a melon and a something else. And it was like, that's meant to be her boobies. So I don't know if that was like maybe pandering to the more adult, men or something.
Young when Brainiac came out.
No, I think that was a little bit,
I don't think.
like mid-teens or early teens.
But yes, it did happen. It was like a big thing in our house where like, obviously there's one TV, like my mum and dad are nowhere near it at this point. So it's like, so we're sort of arguing as to what we want to watch because the other one, but then it was quite nice because there was always something that we all really wanted to watch.
Yeah.
What you could agree on. And we always could agree on Mr. Bean.
Oh my God, Mr. Bean was so good.
When the videos of Mr. Bean came out, do you remember they were all different colours?
Right. So here's something for you.
Yeah.
How many episodes do you think ever aired of Mr. Bean? You know, the live show. You know, like, you know the famous one where he's on top of the car and he's steering the car?
Yeah.
How many episodes of Mr. Bean do you think there are?
Well, hold on. Let me make sure I understand the question, because the episodes that I think you're talking about, they're in one episode.
Yep.
There was like two,
like, or different skits.
There was different
right?
stories, wasn't there?
Okay. Yep.
Oh, I don't know now. You're stressing me out. Overall, how many?
Yep.
I'll just say like 20.
It was 15. 15 episodes.
Oh, I weren't that far off.
But that's crazy, because I always remember thinking there was like 60 odd.
Yeah.
15 episodes.
But as I say, like I'm sure the episodes were all sort of split up into into different skits and sections. I mean, one of my favorite ones is where he's at the park and he asks this guy to take a picture of him with this camera. It's like an old school camera, and the guy just like tells him to turn around, and he runs away with his camera, and then he ends up, I can't even remember how, with like a bin over the guy's head, and he's poking him with a... Do you remember this? He's poking him with a pencil, and he's going like, he's making a very particular screaming noise.
No, I don't remember that. I don't remember that.
Up! It's like a really like...
like animated cartoon noise.
Mate, oh my God. It's so good that there's no dialogue.
Yeah.
Like, it's so perfect. All over the world, I'm positive children grew up with Mr. Bean.
I guess that's the point, actually. You know,
no language.
We talk about, you know, Pingu and other shows that didn't have dialogue. It's like they were universal.
That's world market.
Ah.
Because there's no language barrier.
Yeah. And I guess if you've only got a narrator that kind of chimes in every now and then, you can narrate that in all the languages.
Oh, Noddy.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. I completely forgot about
Noddy.
Mate, we love Noddy. I mean, you were talking about Thomas the Tank Engine. I think we were more Noddy family, because we had like Noddy like bed sheets and stuff when we were young.
more like Postman Pat. Postman Pat on, yeah.
Mate, you've got to remember when we were kids and that overdub of that Postman Pat episode... that got shared around people's like...
But that was when we were older, obviously.
Yeah. Sony Ericsson, like, Cybershot phones. Like, everyone was Bluetooth in it.
When I first discovered, like, YouTube and you could create videos...
Yeah.
This was before a lot of people were doing it, right? So I don't want to brag, but if I would have kept this up, I could have been big.
Yeah.
And this is when YouTube had, like... It was Google Video. Like, YouTube was a separate thing. And then Google were like, no, we're having YouTube. We'll buy it. And then they acquired it. And I remember before the acquisition, I uploaded a video to Google Video. And then it automatically, they were like, Google Video is now closing. All of your Google videos will be made available on your YouTube channel. So it got transferred. And I remember at the time, this video garnered about 80,000 plays. And I was like, I'm famous.
Yeah,
I'm famous
big,
at the time. That was big numbers, right? And do you know what it was? And I'm not proud of this. And I would never, ever show anyone, because I'm pretty sure I said some dire things.
Oh, God.
Right? It was Pingu, but I put subtitles over it. And I'll tell you what episode it was. There was this episode where Pingu and his mate were playing hopscotch. Right. And they'd drawn the hopscotch in chalk on the floor outside of somebody else's house, right?
Yeah.
And they were playing it and they were going... Beep, bah, beep, bah. And an older geezer comes along who's clearly doesn't like them playing outside their house or whatever. And he smudges it all. And basically, they end up having an argument. So I put... And this is when I just discovered swearing.
Oh, cool.
So I put every swear word I could think of in this thing. And you know, it would probably have gotten a lot more views. But I got a copyright strike from whoever, Hit Media or Hit Media Group, the people who created Pingu.
Wow.
And I remember thinking, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, that's so scary.
Because I was still young enough to be like...
How old were you? Yeah.
I don't know. Let me look it up. When did Google acquire YouTube? 2006.
Wow.
So it must have been 2006. Oh, I was 16.
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
still kind of learning the boundaries of the internet. The internet was still fairly new.
Yeah.
I remember the video was so bad quality and it took forever to upload. That's another story.
Yeah, that's mad.
But yeah, taking those sort of things and then suddenly you had YouTube, which was like, well, now you weren't just limited to what was on TV.
Yeah.
You had all of this other stuff, which I don't know if it's great because, you know, you had this before YouTube Kids was a thing. People could upload whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's dangerous.
You know?
Yeah.
So, but man, I just remember that all these different shows where you, I don't even know like what the point of a lot of those episodes were.
Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah. No,
I remember just being really engrossed by them.
Yeah.
But what made us that way? What made us want to watch the? Was it the colors? Was it the high pitched noises? Like, what was it? Was it the sensory thing?
I'm not sure because I think the interesting thing about a lot of the shows as well is they're all pretty, and it is the same now in my opinion with TV shows that are somewhere around 20 minutes long. Think about The Simpsons and think about what else did we grow up on?
The Simpsons.
The Simpsons. Well, I mean, I can't believe we've gone this long and not talked about it. It literally changed a lot of how. I mean, anyway, the point I'm making, sorry, is that they don't continue them. You know what I mean? Very rarely is there. Well, this is what happened last episode.
Oh yeah,
and
they stand up separately. Yeah,
exactly. So they're standalone things. So I don't know if the more you watch, the more engrossed in the actual characters you are. Because
there weren't any character development. Let's be real.
Not really. You're not learning like a background story usually or anything like that. But
you don't have the mental capacity for that.
Not really. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just assume that with something like the Teletubbies, when it's for young children, it's the repetition and like them learning what comes next and the anticipation of, oh, now they're going to play a game. Time for Tubby bye-bye. And you know they're going to come out again. Yeah. So things like that. Like, I'm sure there's just... It was quite
regimented.
But maybe a lot of this at the time as well, all being quite new, they were just learning the way, what would get kids to keep watching.
Yeah.
Because, as I say, depending on what you were watching, some of the TV programs were meant to be educational. There was something for kids to learn. And then other shows were just a bit... you know, like for the sake
scattergun.
Yeah, for the sake of it. Place. Like Hey Arnold. I don't really remember any learning thing from Hey Arnold.
But wasn't that all about him? Didn't he get bullied quite a lot?
Well, so he was definitely like...
Because that was Move It Football Head.
There was bully-esque characters sort of thing. But the same with The Simpsons with Nelson. Like, you're meant to understand that those kind of characters exist in your world and like
it's relatable.
You're gonna have to deal with them and stuff. But yeah,
do you remember? Because probably early 2000s, Sky started being a thing. So you had more than your 5 channels. You had unlimited, and cartoons never stopped.
Right.
And then you got onto the things of like Cartoon Network.
Yeah, so
Nickelodeon.
Now, I'll be honest. So I didn't grow up with Sky. So I never really had... So, you know, like, I always look back at it now, like Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, Ren and Stimpy. Did you watch that ever?
No. So I never... I knew what it was, and people were talking about it. And, like, do you remember, like, Cat Dog?
Oh, yeah, Cat Dog.
So I didn't grow up with these. There's a chicken.
Cow and Chicken.
Cow and Chicken. I didn't grow up with these TV programs, so I don't get the appeal.
That was kind of the same era as SpongeBob for me. Like, like Cartoon Network, SpongeBob. I don't know if SpongeBob was even on Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon. I don't know what one, but
I think it's a Nickelodeon. But you've got like Johnny Bravo as well.
Well, thank you very much.
Which, I think people look back at it now and think like that's a bit borderline inappropriate.
A bit pesty, wasn't he?
I think so, but again, I never grew up with these. I never grew up with these TV shows, so I don't know that world.
I don't remember thinking that at the time though. But like, if they released it now, people would think that.
Yeah, I think I think there was just always a nice looking woman on the episode that he was like
trying to chat up.
Yeah, well, he's a good looking lad.
Ed and Eddie.
Yeah, Ed and Eddie. Weird drawing style.
Yeah, a very weird concept as well. Like their whole thing was they were 3 pals that would do anything, including ripping off their other mates to get enough money to buy like gobstoppers.
It's weird.
That was the thing.
Yeah,
and that was Very strange.
As you said earlier, I don't know if some of these were meant to have a purpose, and I don't know if some of them were meant to sort of make you think a little bit more than others. But
there are so many that we haven't even touched on.
This is the thing. You open so many cans of worms when you start to look at this. I do remember when we were at school. I do remember we used to get home, and I remember we had to do some reading. We had to do some homework, obviously. But I remember it being part of the thing that before dinner we could, or if it was after dinner, because we always ate at the table. But TV time was a part of our daily routine.
Yep, TV time was like, right, you've had dinner, you've done your homework, there's nothing left to do, you've either had a bath or, and then it's like, right, you get to watch a little bit of TV before you go to bed.
Yeah.
And then we get to unwind before bed. It was almost like, I think for us, it was like you'd play before up to dinner.
Yeah.
After dinner was like, right, we need to, like, our parents were probably like, we need to try and calm the kids down a bit. Let's get them sat, chilled, not running around.
Yeah, exactly.
So on the TV. But even then, I just remember acting like a loony, running around watching like Looney Tunes.
Oh, Looney Tunes. Dude.
You know, like, how long's that been going?
Oh, no idea.
I would argue probably Bugs Bunny has got to be one of the most famous kids' TV characters of all time.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, who else is topping that?
Yeah, that's a big question. Well, I do immediately think of The Simpsons. When we're thinking of like iconic kids TV characters.
Shall I look it up?
Yeah, who are we talking about? Right. You've got to see like Bart Simpson, Homer Simpson. Yeah. They've got to be easily recognizable all over the world. They've got to be. If you put them in front of kids or adults anywhere, they've got to know who they are. But you're right. Looney Tunes, like Bugs Bunny, is probably up there.
Right, I'm looking it up. Who is the most? Oh God!
I mean, Mickey Mouse.
Oh, Mickey Mouse!
Mickey Mouse!
Oh, no,
like, not even like
that might trump Bugs Bunny.
Mickey Mouse has got to be up there.
Mickey Mouse has been around for yonks.
Popeye.
Yeah, Popeye the Sailor Man. I mean, that's not going now, though, still.
Like, imagine I've said Popeye and you've had to go, Popeye the Sailor Man.
Yeah, because
we all know who Popeye is.
I know, but I had to say it because in my head I was like, right, so hear me out.
Okay.
The way that I knew these shows was from the soundtrack.
I was going to bring that up. The theme songs for shows.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think the strongest ones are? But let's not jump ahead. I'm really interested in this, actually. Who, as far as the actual characters go.
So it's on Reddit.
Okay.
So it's not like there's no science behind this. It's just someone's put up a Reddit post who's asked the same question. Who is arguably the most famous cartoon character of all time? Yeah. So Mickey Mouse is no contest. Everyone knows him. It's like saying who's the most famous burger chain in the world and then not picking McDonald's.
I was actually going to bring up McDonald's. Did McDonald's do a short animated TV series with the Hamburglar?
Yeah,
and
they did with the
and they had the little weird. They looked like hairballs.
Yeah, like a purple thing.
And there was a purple. I can't remember.
Mate, didn't he make a resurface a few years back?
Really?
It was part of a meme. Yeah. What was so basically McDonald's brought out this drink and it was themed around this purple guy.
Oh, okay.
And it became a meme on TikTok, and basically it was pretty sinister. It was it was the Grimace. That was it. The Grimace shake.
Yeah.
Right. So they brought back this Grimace shake. It was purple. It made your tongue go purple. Cool. But what happened was this thing went viral on TikTok where people would drink it, and then it was like they blacked out and weird stuff happened to them, and then it would like cut to them like, you know, like a horror scene.
Right. Okay.
Really short horror, and then they'd wake up and they'd be covered in like the purple stuff, and they'd be like worried, right?
Oh wow.
And it went so viral that McDonald's had to acknowledge it.
Oh, that's
and
mad.
But they didn't make their own horror thing. They were just like, Grimace is really... they put out a statement like, Grimace is really happy with all the creative videos that everyone's been creating.
Right.
Because some of them weren't just about, you know, horror or the weird stuff. It was more like, you've had a Grimace shake and now funny stuff has happened to you.
Right, okay.
So it became like a really big meme.
I just feel like there was some
definitely a
animated
show.
thing. Yeah. Because Ronald McDonald, if he's technically a TV character, is probably up there.
Right. So Ronald McDonald, yeah. Yeah, but then he's not known as being a cartoon character.
No,
he's known as
probably
being
not.
a brand
Yeah.
rep or whatever. So I'm gonna deep dive into this Reddit because I think it's quite interesting actually. Winnie the Pooh.
Dude, there's so many.
That was one of my fave. I've still got a Winnie the Pooh toy, stuffed toy, but I don't have his jacket.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember.
That's sad.
Yeah, his jacket.
So he's just naked.
No, don't be like that, man.
Well, he just is, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He is. But like that, apparently, like my parents, they will tell you, my favourite toy, I never went anywhere without Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, Winnie the Pooh.
And then I lost his jacket.
And the thing is, like, babies now are still getting Winnie the Pooh themed this, Winnie the Pooh themed that. Yeah. I've got no idea if the story's still going. Obviously, Tigger eventually got his own, like, branch off, like, show and stuff. I'm very certain he did, yeah. Strong character.
He was a strong character, yeah.
Yeah, that was... That's amazing, to be honest, that, like, of course he's a side character, but his presence and his energy felt huge at the time.
Because Winnie the Pooh and who was the guy?
Piglet.
So you had Piglet. They were quite calm characters, but who was the boy who used to go and visit?
Oh, I can't remember.
They were all quite low energy, chill.
I've thought of another one. Dude.
But then Tigger was like, really energetic. Yeah. So, go on, mate.
Peter Rabbit. Old school Peter Rabbit.
Oh yeah, everyone had the Peter Rabbit plush.
Yeah, Peter Rabbit, like little books. Obviously, he's on all the coins now. Like, this is sad. This must be such a headache to listen to.
Yeah.
Because, and by the way, if you're like in the States or if you're in Indonesia, sorry, like you probably have no idea what we're on about.
But you should seriously, all of these shows that we're talking about, there was probably similar shows or themed shows around the world. And I'd be interested to know, leave a comment. What's a show that we haven't talked about that you think is quite niche to your country or your culture? Because I'm sure that there was shows that we watched as a kid that were very like British in what they were trying to get across.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that like in other countries, let's say like very Muslim countries, they were teaching about maybe more religious things, if that was what was happening at the time. I wonder what's out there, man.
Yeah, just throw it open. Yeah. Like, the whole world didn't have the same TV channels.
Tom and Jerry.
Sorry, mate. Right, I really want to see this list then. What do we think?
So someone said they don't really define, or they define famous based on how much the audience is familiar with the character as well as their omnipresence. So this person's taken both into equation. Sheer omnipresence has got to be Mickey. Disney's everywhere, everything today, pop culture, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of younger audiences aren't familiar with him that much as a cartoon character.
True. That makes sense.
So people, on the other hand, recognize and are familiar with Tom and Jerry.
Yep.
Simply because they might have seen at least one of the classic shorts. So Tom and Jerry cartoon compilations on YouTube have extremely high views, and others in this list don't even come close. And even online, they do actually rival SpongeBob himself when it comes to memes.
I was going to say SpongeBob. Do you remember... Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to finish it off, but they summarized it by saying people might recognize SpongeBob, but that's not due to the cartoon. It's due to all of the other stuff around it, like the memes, the themed, like, wasn't there even like a water world that was themed of SpongeBob?
Oh, probably, like a Bikini Bottom style. And it's mad how some of these cartoons literally then just transcend into the rest of real world. Like, what SpongeBob is if you didn't grow up watching the show. Like, obviously it's the first episode, again, there's no words, there's no vocab, is there? Like, again, maybe that was the idea for the show to begin with, of the pilot. But so like the whole SpongeBob first episode and a lot of what we've talked about, I'm sure Tom and Jerry, and part of the allure was that, again, there's no English being spoken or any language.
You didn't really see the mum's face or anything, did you?
I don't recall, no. But do you remember the film? Because the Tom and Jerry film. I'm sure there was a film where all of a sudden they started talking, and it's
what, Tom and Jerry?
I think so, and I'm sure because it's mentioned in the film, like, you could talk this entire time. And he's like, yeah, and it was like this weird sort of Tom and hilarious. Jerry film first time speech. I just have to know, basically. Yeah, you talked. It was a film in 1992, and that was
what, and they just started talking. That kind of ruins the allure of it.
Yeah, no, that's it. A feature-length cartoon made in 1992, and it's a decided departure from the usual cat and mouse offerings. Tom and Jerry are in full talk mode in this movie for the first and only time. That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, that's
Did
strange,
they then go back?
Yeah, imagine making new episodes and being like, you guys can talk.
Yeah, but it was a weird. I remember that being a thing. Like, oh my. They're talking.
Yeah.
Like, that's mad because for the entire time we didn't have any language. But again, probably as part of being a recognizable, like, global sort of recognized thing, you can play Tom and Jerry anywhere.
Oh yeah, because there's no talking. No. Yeah. Because I couldn't imagine like, oh, Mickey Mouse here. You know, like the famous Mickey Mouse voice. Yeah. I'm bad at impressions, by the way. Sorry about that. But like, I couldn't imagine. Hola, Mickey Mouse is here. I don't know. Like, I don't know Spanish. But you know what I mean. Like, especially I couldn't imagine it in German.
No, I'm not trying that.
No. So everyone's just saying Mickey Mouse. Crazy.
That's it. Okay.
Literally Mickey Mouse.
I think The Simpsons has got to be up there, but I am trying to think of another cartoon that. Because I think you could, if you're our sort of age, you could show Hey Arnold, and you'd immediately be like, oh, Hey Arnold, you know, a character from Recess, and you'd be like,
but
you know where they were from.
But that's the thing, like, what is a show nowadays? And where you talk about it and you mention it, like ones that we spoke about on here, where you'll speak to someone who maybe is like mid-20s, and they'll go, what is that?
Yeah,
and you feel old.
Oh,
what is a show that?
Old
what is a show that does that? Stuff like Queen's Nose, all of those shows. I feel like,
for
oh
sure.
God.
Yeah, like
Zoombeanies.
What?
Wait, Zoombeanies? It was basically right. I've got to look this up to be sure. But it was a show on like what? It was a show with these little bugs. Zoombeanies?
What are you going on about? I've got no idea what you were watching.
Right, Zoombeanies was a series. Oh no, it was a game. It was a game. I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. It was like an educational puzzle game with like these weird little characters. But I swear there was a show when we were kids, and it was like little bugs. Kids old TV show with bugs. No, not Miss Spider.
Miss Spider? No, I don't know what that is.
Old 2000s. Oh, mate, there were so many. By the way, was 50-50 the one where mate, you got gunked at the end? Who was that? There was a guy that used to get gunked.
I don't know that there was anyone that got gunked on 50-50. I've got no idea, to be honest, mate. The thing is that there's just so many that we can talk about. We've
already done an hour.
It's mad, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, do you watch any, like, obviously because then the world of adult animation has become absolutely huge, like, you know, Rick and Morty as an example, Family Guy, obviously, like they've changed the game there. I wonder if you're the generation above us, like, does your dad watch Family Guy?
No.
You know what's so funny? So my dad, I don't know if he won't ever watch this. He loves Ted. Do you know Ted? The Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
You know, the Mark Wahlberg. Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, that's it. With the teddy bear, yeah.
Now, he loves Ted. He thinks it's hilarious. It's like a guilty pleasure sort of thing for him to watch.
But he won't watch Family Guy.
But I'm like, have you ever watched Family Guy then? Because you know it's the same writer who's doing the same jokes.
Oh, mate.
And it's so funny to me because he would never think to... I'm not sitting and watching this cartoon.
But has he watched Simpsons?
But no, he wouldn't watch it like now is what I mean.
Oh, now,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, it's like, it's mad how, because probably our generation now, we probably will watch Family Guy until whenever, or I'll try like a load of adult information stuff that's come on. I love Bob's Burgers. I'm always watching Bob's Burgers.
That's a good point, actually. You watch quite a lot of like cartoons, adult cartoons.
Oh, well, I love anime as well. Like
What's
a game
the one with the horse?
Excuse me? Oh, BoJack Horseman on Netflix.
Yeah, BoJack Horseman. Yeah. So
I like it. There's something about adult information that I guess I like the nostalgia sort of thing.
It is.
But again, some of these are more. Well, it's just more adult themed. I think for me as well, I fall into a category of I just don't want to watch reality TV. The idea of watching reality TV to me is not interesting. I don't like it. I think as a consumer, you want to watch it and they parade it like, I don't want to call any particular show out, but I think we look at it and it reflects a really bad, I don't want to be like that.
I think it feeds into the narrative of a toxic narrative of like, this is how people act. I mean, I will take one show. I know you didn't want to call that a show, but The Only Way is Essex. Is that what it was called? And that for me painted a really bad, I say bad, like a stereotyped narrative of Essex. Mm-hmm. So now, not so much anymore, but when it was out, if you were from Essex and you travelled anywhere, are you all dumb like the people?
Exactly. Exactly
Like we've got people like that in every county.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of it, in my opinion, you're meant to laugh or find a bit shocking or like you're meant to poke fun at it. That's the whole thing to me. It feels like you're poking fun at people all the time. And I don't like that reflection of our society. I don't like that. You can enjoy reality TV. I like game shows and things like that. Totally understand the appeal. That's fine. But some of this reality TV, I really dislike how we're so gripped to it. I is my opinion, but I'm someone that watches fucking cartoons. I swore. Fucking hell. Sorry, everyone.
Wait, that was 2 in a row.
Yeah, but well, the fucking floodgates open. So anyway, it's a really interesting conversation. Hopefully, this episode has sort of been nostalgic for some people.
Yeah.
If you've really not understood, okay. If you want to tell the people to go and find an episode on YouTube of 3 shows from your childhood,
all right.
What would it be?
Right.
And we'll have to pick separate.
Yeah.
We'll have to pick.
So
different.
first of all, I'm going to say a staple of my childhood was the Mr. Bean episode. Right.
Yep.
So I don't know how you're going to find this. You're going to have to Google it, or maybe I can find something and put it in the description. It was the Mr. Bean episode where he picks up like a new sofa or something, and then he can't fit it in his car, or he has to sit on top of his car.
Yeah.
And then he works out a way to control his car with like string and a broom.
Really old school Mr. Bean.
Yeah. Please go and find any of that Mr. Bean old school stuff and just watch a couple, because I think from it's timeless.
Yeah.
But it is also from that time.
Yes. 100%.
You will know, that's old.
Yeah.
But you can appreciate for what it is. It's not upsetting anyone. It's not harming. It's just stupid, harmless fun.
Can I also add one, because I did adore Mr. Bean?
Go on.
I think you've got to mention the nativity scene. If you watch the Christmas episode,
so there was actually 3 Christmas ones, wasn't there? The ones where, or maybe it was like 3 different scenes.
Yeah, I feel like it was a long episode.
So what was the one you were saying?
So the nativity scene. So he has found a nativity scene, and he starts to play with other toys into the nativity.
With Teddy.
So if you find that, it's very, very funny.
And there was really one with the turkey.
Yes.
Mr. Bean and the turkey has an absolute meltdown as well.
That's so funny.
Yeah. And then the wrapping presents. That was all part. I don't know if it was all part of the same one, but he tries to wrap presents anyway. So please go and watch any of the Mr. Bean episodes. Also, my niece loves Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
And she's 5, so
it's nice.
They've got an animated thing and all sorts.
Yeah, that's the thing. They did an animated series as well.
Yeah.
So go on. What's another one?
I'd like to say go and watch Recess, and I'm trying to think of stuff that like people won't necessarily know because it won't be about now. Mm-hmm. So Recess. If you're watching this and you've never seen an episode of that, please go and watch it. It's basically about high school or middle school kids all from very, very different walks of life. You have pretty much like every member of a group, like the alternative person, the geeky one, the fat one. You got all different people in there. So definitely go and check out Recess. And I'm going to throw it over to you while I think of my last one.
Yeah, you've made a good point there about ensuring that they're not around now. Yeah. So I was just looking over some of these, like, I just wonder if there's any that might still be around. One that, because we didn't get to because of the theme song sort of thing, but so it's a bit of a cheat. I've got to say Arthur, because the theme tune to Arthur. What is that?
Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. Obviously, there's so many memes now. There's so many memes from Arthur. But if you've never watched it, and if all you do is watch or listen to the theme song, just listen to the theme song.
So the theme song.
Every day when you're walking down the street, running after me, an original point of view. Yeah, it's so
And I said, hey.
That's the one. I'm not doing
Right, okay. Don't worry, forgot about it.
Okay.
It's because I was thinking of theme tunes.
The only other one that immediately came to mind is Fairly Odd Parents. We didn't even get to Fairly Odd Parents, but I
swear there's a video of us somewhere. I might have even been on.
What? You and me?
There's a video somewhere of me and you, right? Quite a few years back, before COVID era, right? And we were filming live on Twitch. Oh my God, before we even decided that we were going to make a podcast, we did a podcast on Twitch.
Yeah.
Or maybe we even recorded some music. And we sung the Fairly Odd Parents theme tune. And I remember loads of people messaging me going, you absolutely nailed that theme tune.
Oh, that's so funny. Mate, the theme tune was so good, but the story is...
It's like jazz, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a really interesting premise, but there's a really interesting thing. I don't know how you describe it basically, but just watch. If you watch the episodes, there's something about the eyes, right? So the human eyes are different to the fairy's eyes. One of the characters that you believe to be a human has different eyes to everybody else. And if you've seen a video of someone explaining this, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But that changed my perception. And I really want you to, if you remember the show, as I say, just go and watch it, because that was that's blown my mind. That's blown
So
my
the idea
mind.
is the fairies had different eyes to the humans.
If you watch the actual animation, and I do think that this is really interesting about cartoons, because I've talked about it with certain ones. Do you remember the Cramp twins? I'm throwing all sorts in now.
Oh my God, now we've got the Cramp twins.
Right.
They had crazy mad eyes.
Yeah, and they had around their bodies, they had little lines. If you remember, they had extra lines.
Yeah.
The art style for some of these TV programs is very, very unique and mostly unimportant. But I do think in some of these programs, they've intentionally done certain things. Fairly Odd Parents, if it's just a theory, it's just like a fan theory sort of thing. But if it means something, it completely changes the remit of that show.
Do not spoil it, because I'm going to look at this up after, and I think that should be homework for the viewers.
Homework. The only other one that I really wanted to talk about, because I love the theme tune, was Mona the Vampire. Just watch Mona the Vampire.
Mona the Vampire, very good, very good.
Superb. Right, so you had Mr. Bean.
Yep.
You had...
Recess.
I had... What did I have? Fairly Odd Parents, Mona the Vampire, and did I have another one? I don't remember. What was your last one?
I don't know. I can't think of one that I want to really nail, because we've chosen cartoons.
Yeah, they are
so
proper,
they are
cartoons.
cartoon ones, but I don't know if you can find an episode of any of the old TV shows like Dick and Dom in the Bungalow. I know there's a lot of memes with those guys, but if you can find anywhere just an old episode, because they used to play this game and everyone knows this game. It was called Bogies, right?
Yeah.
And the premise was that, Dick and Dom, they were what, early 20s?
Yeah.
And they were presenting
this.
They were presenting this show. And it was just a crazy nut house. He used to bully all the younger kids, which is hilarious to watch. And there was a particular scene where they bully there's this young girl who's on there, and kids shows, like if you were invited onto a kids show, you usually got to walk away with a prize or something like that. And Dick and Dom, basically, there's this famous scene where they got this girl on and they were like, oh, you really love horses. And they're like really big and around. If you had a pony, what would you call it? And they literally turned around, and Dick and Dom spoke about this years after. They turned around to this kid, and bear in mind, this is not scripted, really. It's just them being quite like ADHD energetic.
Right.
And they went, well, we've got you your very own pony. And this kid is, whoa. And then they both look at each other and go, not really. And this kid's face, she looks like she's going to cry.
That is horrible.
And they talk about this years later and we're like, yeah, we thought she was going to like cry. So we had to keep the energy up. And I was like, that's so funny. But Dick and Dom, if you ever get to visit that, go watch an episode of Bogies. Go watch an episode of whatever it is. But Bogies was where they used to have to go into like a public place, usually like somewhere like a library, and they would start off, Bogies. And then the other person had to say it louder. And they had like someone narrating it who would like have a meter up on the screen determining who the winner was. And it was just carnage. It was just stupid, funny, laugh, no moral to it. No. And then it started off people shouting bogies.
Really, really immature. But once, I feel like after it cottoned on a little bit, here anyway, they would go out in public areas like a cinema, for example. But people knew. Yeah. People knew that was the game. Yeah. So it was... that
had a limited... It had an expiration date on that.
It's an interesting time for kids' TV. The only other one for me, Smart. Do you remember Smart?
Wait, what was that?
The art show.
Yeah, but was that... What? Smart?
Yeah.
Art Attack?
Yeah,
Smart.
so Art Attack...
Didn't Smart have a special character?
Have a special character? No.
There was like a character in Smart.
Oh, Morph.
That's it, Morph.
Yeah, go find Morph.
Yeah,
Morph
go look up Morph. Absolutely legendary character.
Very cool.
I've been Ben, you've been Manny, and we've talked a lot of crap.
Yeah, this episode is nuts.
I love it.
Weird.
I love it.
Yeah, mate, loved it. Mate,
hey, and listen, now we're on Spotify, now we're on YouTube. Hopefully people find it easier to interact on YouTube. People tend to use the comments section more on YouTube. Please, I'm going to be that guy. Like the video, comment on the video, and please subscribe if you're not already doing... Yeah, subscribe if you're new. Peace out. Oh, dear. Did you ever fancy any cartoon characters?
Dude, this is so embarrassing. We didn't get to talk about it for an actual, because it wasn't a TV show. But yeah, I remember the first crush I had was on Ariel the Mermaid.
She ain't even got a pussy!